In a small town, there lived a humble shoemaker named Martin Avdic. He lived alone in a basement room, his only view of the world a small window looking out onto the street. Through it, he could only see the feet of those passing by. But he had learned to recognize many of his neighbors and customers just by their shoes. Years ago, Martin had a wife and children, but they had all passed away, leaving him in deep despair. His faith wavered, and he began to question the goodness of God. One day, a wise old man visited him and spoke of living for God, not for oneself. He told Martin to read the Gospels. Martin did, and his heart began to change. The stories of Jesus filled him with peace and hope. One night, as he read about a Pharisee who had invited Jesus to his home but showed him no hospitality, Martin thought to himself, if only Jesus would visit me, I would welcome him with open arms. As he drifted off to sleep, he heard a voice whisper, Martin, look out into the street tomorrow. I will come. The next day, Martin kept a watchful eye on his window. The hours passed, but he saw no sign of a special visitor. He saw an old soldier, Stepanich, struggling to shovel snow. Martin felt a pang of compassion. He called the old man inside, offered him a warm cup of tea, and they sat together, sharing stories. As Stepanich left, he thanked Martin, his heart warmed by the kindness. Martin watched him go, then returned to his post by the window, still waiting. Later, he saw a woman poorly dressed, shivering in the cold, trying to soothe her crying baby. Martin's heart went out to them. He quickly brought them inside, away from the biting wind. He gave the woman his last bowl of cabbage soup and a warm shawl to wrap her baby in. Holiday. He even gave her a few coins to buy back a pawn shawl. The woman was overwhelmed with gratitude, tears of relief in her eyes. May Christ bless you, she said as she left. Martin smiled, feeling a quiet joy, but he couldn't help but wonder when his promised visitor would arrive. As dusk fell, Martin saw an old apple woman arguing with a young boy who had tried to steal one of her apples. The boy was crying, and the woman was furious, threatening to take him to the police. Martin hurried outside. He spoke gently to them both, reminding the woman of God's forgiveness and urging the boy to ask for it. He offered to pay for the apple, and his words softened the woman's heart. She forgave the boy, and he helped her lift her heavy basket. As they walked away together, the old woman even gave the boy an apple. The day ended, and Martin returned to his room, a little disappointed. He sat down to read his Bible, and the room seemed to fill with a strange light. Figures began to appear in the corner of the room. He heard a voice say, Martin, did you not recognize me? And he saw the old soldier, Stepanich, who smiled and then vanished. I, the voice said again. Martin saw the mother and her baby. They too smiled and disappeared. And this is I, the voice continued. He saw the old apple woman and the boy. They smiled and were gone. Martin's heart overflowed with joy. He finally understood. Christ had come to him all day, in the form of the needy and the troubled. He had welcomed them, cared for them, and shown them love. Martin realized that by serving others, he had been serving God, and he knew then that where love is, God is also. From that day on, Martin Avdic's soul was filled with a peace and happiness he had never known before.